Why knots don't release by pummeling them. I'm Dr. Daniel Lopez and I'm your guide through this course. So I previously described that a knotted muscle is an involuntary contracture with nervous system hypersensitivity that is a response to a problem. One of the interesting things about knots is that they often hurt, but the place that is actually causing the problem is not usually apparently painful. Patients are often unaware of how much pain there is throughout their bodies. Using our AC joint problem as an example, let me explain why knots will not release by pummeling them. Let's say that someone has a problem in their AC joint, and as a result, they end up with a knot in their trapezius muscle on the same side. This doesn't have to be a tear or damage to a joint. It can simply be a dysfunctional joint that isn't working quite right. The knot is experienced during day-to-day life as painful, so naturally one would assume that that is where the problem is. The AC joint is not usually experienced as painful, so the knot then is trying to communicate something is wrong and keep the problem from getting worse. Eventually, the knot becomes painful enough that one may search for relief of the trapezius knot. Day to day, one may spend their time trying to stretch the knot or exercise to strengthen the muscle that is knotted. They may go for massages or body work, or they may pummel the knot. They spend hours getting it pummeled, and then afterwards, one may feel like they were run over by a truck. Then, if it doesn't work, they may seek out other things like injections, and the knot may get injected, and if it improves, or the improvement is often temporary. Then they get injections into the nerves coming out of the spine because their doctor thinks that that is where the knot is coming from. After all this, little to nothing may have been accomplished, and if not, the knot may have improved a little, but ultimately was still there after all that pummeling. So why is the knot still there? Because during all this, no one ever bothered to put pressure and move the AC joint to assess how well the AC joint moved and if there was pain there. If that had been the first and only thing that had been done, it would have provided more relief than massages, injections, and anything else tried. At no point was the reason the muscle was contracting ever addressed, only the muscle contracture. This would be like having an inflamed appendix and spending the whole time trying to get the contracted muscles to relax around it without ever addressing the appendix. Doing the right thing, even just once, will produce a much greater effect than doing the wrong thing 1,000 times. It's like having a broken engine in a car and fixing everything but the engine and then expecting it to work. Maybe it would have helped the engine run better to fix all those other things if the engine had been fixed, but the car will still not run without fixing the engine. Hopefully it's becoming clearer and clearer. If you want a method that will inevitably accomplish little to nothing to get rid of knots, then pummel them. If you want real relief, then you have to begin looking at the body differently. And this is a significant shift from our current way of dealing and looking at these problems. A similar thing goes for strengthening exercises and even stretching. If you have a joint that is not working quite right, then the muscles associated with that joint will be weak. It's physiology. Is it really a great idea to take a muscle that is trying to protect the joint that isn't working well and stress it through strength training or stretching? I don't believe that it is. Maybe it's because of the patient population I see and from my experiences as an athlete, but I don't find that it resolves people's problems, but can often enhance them. It sometimes helps people's bodies compensate for the problem, but with the people that I see, the problem is still under the surface. Next, let's move on and look at why we form knots.